A beautiful morning to you and welcome to the newspaper review for today. I am Ayo, and today the stories we are set to review with you is first with the breaking news. Iran's president, foreign minister, 7 others died to helicopter crash. And then moving on to the next story. Tinubu likely to get minister's performance record this week. And to the final one, we are repositioning Nigeria as global investment hub, Shetima. And we will look at the general overview of how far the Tinubu's administration has been in the last 1 year. These are the stories to be reviewed with you today. Before we go into all that we have for you today, let's go on a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to the show. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the show. It is so sad to announce that Iran's president, foreign ministers, 7 others killed in helicopter crash. Very quickly, let's go to the news and details. Iran's president, Ibrahim Rahish, has died in a helicopter crash at the age of 63, as reported by Iranian news outlets. Rescuers on Monday found the helicopter that was carrying the Iranian president, as well as the country's foreign minister, Hussein Amirad Abdullahi, and 7 other senior officials, after it crashed in the mountain northwest reaches of Iran. While we have the conversation, some of the videos will be displayed to you, and together with some of the pictures that was discovered from the accident scene. Okay, before the helicopter crashed weeks after Iran launched a drone and missile attack on Israel in response to a deadly strike on its diplomatic compound in Damascus. Adlina Rais became president in the historically uncompetitive election in 2021. Previously the Chief Justice, he oversaw a period of intensified depression of dissent in a nation convulsed by youth-led protests against clerical rule. And joining me in reviewing this session is my co-host. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
When I saw the story, it is really a sad. It is really a sad one. But then part of the many things I noted in this is that, as at the day that this helicopter crash happened, there was a fog, and we all know that when there is a fog, it is not expected of helicopter or plane to be on motion as at that time. And people are likening this accident. So some persons are saying this accident is a plot. Some others are saying it is as a result of the fog, that it is pure accident and nothing more. And we just want to use this medium to say that may the soul of everyone present in this accident, may their soul rest in peace. But I would like to just hear your general overview to the story, pending when we have enough details, because the story is beginning to unfold. So I want to hear your general overview to this.
Okay, it's quite unfortunate that it happened anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless of what anybody wants to say, souls have gone down.
Mm.
So, but one thing I've come to understand in life is that this life, no one can actually sustain himself or herself by himself. These things happen. You cannot say, some people, just as some people are saying, is based on fog and based on whatever. I have covered that what will happen will happen. And again, on the other hand, you see, it's quite unfortunate that sometimes we don't believe certain things to be real. But the thing is that your unbelief does not, stop certain things from being true. They talking about the Israelites. God said, that these people they have this kind of immunization, this kind of divine immunity, and God has a kind of I'm talking about. I'm not going religious now. I'm just trying to, sometimes people may not believe this, but it's real. Where He said He will fight against those that fight against them. You know, you cannot say that before the helicopter embarked on that move that it was not properly checked. You can't say that the president of a nation will embark on any journey without. The other time we had a case of the vice president not being able to the vice president and not even the president himself not being able to attend a meeting because there was an error detected in his jet. So not to talk of a president, these people they have facilities. All right. So I want to believe that if it is as a result of what many people are saying, I'm sure even the president, if the air is not safe for him, he should know. He should know too, and of course his pilot or whoever should know too. So I want to believe that this thing happened. But should I say, regardless of people's opinion, only God knows why it has happened, and that is one thing I want to bring out, that we can't keep our life by ourselves. That we and it's the reason why we must say at all times. Sometimes you see people crying, there is no food, there is no money, there is no house, I don't have car and all that, and they have life, and they have sound. May their soul rest in peace. But it has happened, and it has happened, and I believe that we the living will have one or two to learn from this incident, regardless of what anybody is saying. Right, that's my opinion.
Okay, the supreme leader of Iran, person of Mr. Ayatollah Ali, yesterday was saying that they are still waiting for their bodies to be discovered, but the rescue team has gone to where the plane crashed, and they said there are some bodies that cannot even be identified.
With the whole look of things, it's possible for somebody not to be, because everything, it is a total crash.
Yeah, exactly. So we are going to keep our viewers abreast on as things unfold on this accident. It is a sad thing because we really cannot point at the real cause of this. And I'm not even sure there are survivors that could even explain.
It's only when we have survivors that we can get facts like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So because no one, if no one was in there that survived, who will tell the story of what could have caused the accident?
Exactly. So the only thing that everybody is pointing at now is the fact that there was a fog. And this reminded me of Abatwigwe, the CEO of Access Bank, when he died. It was due to the same thing. There was a fog. As the helicopter company in itself should be able to stop them from traveling or going to wherever it is that they want to go to as at that time. And if this still comes back to regulations surrounding business activities, that regardless of who is involved, that we can say no, we are putting your life first before any other thing. This is really a sad thing.
So, you see, on that fog issue, I can tell you that it might not really be the case. All right, everybody, when a thing happens like this, people want to say different things. Everybody wants to air their mind. I believe these people have facilities that can track the helicopter even while it's on motion. And I believe that if there is any risk discovered, they should be able to alert the pilot. So, but let's just like we said earlier, we'll keep our viewers, abreast of whatever the discovery as it unfolds, because people are just saying what they feel currently.
All right, so we're moving on to the next story. As we all know, the Tinubu's administration is approaching its 1 year in office, and all Nigerians are looking forward to a review of their administration to see how they have served Nigerians. That is the word, for the 1 year. How they have been able to serve Nigerians.
Just by next week.
Yeah, exactly. By this time next week, we'll be celebrating their 1 year in office. So very quickly, we'd like to take this story on that. Tinubu likely to get minister's performance record this week. Let's see the news and details. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is expected to receive the scorecard of members of his cabinet this week. The administration will be 1 year old next week, but the ministers will clock 9 months in office tomorrow, having been sworn in on August 21 last year. The scorecard of special advisors and head of key departments and agency will also likely be delivered to the president. 48 ministers were inaugurated by the president, but they are now reduced to 46 following the departure of the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, who resigned to take up a seat at the Senate following his victory at the Court of Appeal. And the second minister who is not a part of this is Beta Edu, the Minister of Humanitarian and Human Affairs, who embezzled the sum of, I think, 80, is it 80? No, 500. Is it? 37 billion naira. Yes, 37 billion naira. She embezzled that money, and she was suspended from office, and we are left with 46 ministers. But I would like to get your thoughts. Since Tinubu's administration, we have been seeing that most of the policies that are taken, they are policies that support their action and affect the poor. So I expect that if at all we want to cut down cost of governance, at this time that the Nigerian economy is dilapidating, we are not expected to have 46 ministers who are not even active. So I would like that we have a general overview of this review, that they are set to review the number of ministers and everything to get their performance record. So I would like to hear your own expectation, especially on power.
Okay. Not only on power,
Yeah.
because currently in Nigeria nothing is working. All right. We are all in expectation. By next week, of course, the president himself should be addressing the nation on, of course, the hope they have given to Nigerian. It's quite unfortunate. They say a leader leads by example, but that is not what we are witnessing in our economy, in our government in Nigeria. There is no money, but the politicians are seeing money to embezzle. Within this 1 year in office, we've had cases of embezzlement. This one embezzled this one embezzled this, under an administration where people are suffering, where things are going high, where the masses, as a matter of fact, even in some places, the people, the workers are not properly paid. Most of these people that earn steal this money, they sometimes they don't even appear in office. All right. So an administration that has not been able to give the people power, no fuel, everything. As a matter of fact, no food in the nation, because the power of famine was brought down as a result of insecurity. All right. So I really want to know. I don't know, but I think like they always do, they have a way of defending themselves. They have a way of saying something that is different from what we are seeing. So by next week, we are waiting to hear what our dear president is going to tell us, that is in alignment with the promise of hope, a renewed hope. I keep on saying, when you said you want to make a thing better, I want to believe you feel the other person is not doing it well. You feel you can do it better than the other person. And I want to believe that, lifting a thing is not actually, in most cases, not actually by power, is a skill. The people have the skill of doing it. There's people that it's not by too much power. All right. So when you promise people that you can do a thing better than they are doing it, it is believed that you have a better skill, a better way of doing that thing. So for 1 year now, aside from what we are witnessing, they say experience is the best teacher. Apart from what Nigerians are witnessing, we are waiting to see or to hear rather, what they will be telling us by next week.
Okay, I would like to hear your thoughts on the Minister of Aviation. We've not really been hearing anything about him since he was sworn into office. The person of Mr. Festus Keyamo. And last week he said at the Federal Executive Council, he said that some VIPs, including Mr. President and the Vice President, they were not paying. They don't pay toll fee at the airports. They don't pay toll fee at the airports, and this is making the ministry to lose up to about 10 billion naira yearly, because these people don't pay money, they don't pay toll fee and all of that. And at that meeting, because the meeting was chaired by Mr. President himself, and Mr. President said, from henceforth, we will be paying toll fee, including the vice and every other VIPs. So I would like to hear your thoughts on why there is preferential treatment in the first place. Because what comes to mind is that the poor don't use the airports. It is the rich that goes to the airport. And most of these VIPs, there is hardly a month that they don't go in and out of the country. So why do you think there was preferential treatment in the first place, that the VIPs are not paying toll fee, but the masses are made to pay toll fee in relation to review of their tenure in office? It is just in the last 2 weeks that we begin to hear all of these things. So I would like to hear your thoughts on this.
You see, preferential treatment in Nigeria will not end, regardless of the fact we hear of the one they mentioned. Do you know other areas these people are enjoying this preferential treatment? For example, on several occasions, I've seen police on this road arrest people for, if you notice this new road, we have sometimes the turning point is a bit far. All right, so sometimes, but the people still enjoy it. They go to the turning point to make a U-turn, right? But most of the times you see police van following one way. What happened to them? Why can't they endure the same thing other people endure, to go and make a U-turn at the normal turning point? Now, when they arrest people for the same case, no reason is justifiable. All right. Now, but the thing, I want to believe that as a leader, leaders are meant to lead by example. Right? But that is not what we experience. That is not what we witness in Nigeria. I'm just citing an example of what is happening. So it's not just in the federal level alone. Preferential treatment is now. Why did he raise the alarm? Has he not been enjoying it before now? Because he's now the Minister of Aviation. So for more money, ever since then, has he been talking? But before now, he has been talking. Have you heard his voice ever since his appointment? Now, because he has been settled. Most of these appointment is all about settlement. People that were so our leaders in Nigeria, we are just waiting. Like me, I can tell I cross my leg waiting next week for their review. Yeah. Let's hear at least we know what we are witnessing. We are the Nigerians. We are here. So it's not as if maybe we are away. We know what the country is saying. We are feeling it. So let's hear what they are still going to come out to tell us, because they always say things that is contrary to what we are witnessing.
But then which of the ministries are you looking forward to seeing their review?
Mm-hmm. Like currently, if you want to say the truth, and of course you should say the truth, nothing is working in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. So we are looking at all areas. Do you want to talk about the power sector? Now, why are we still buying fuel the amount we are buying it in Nigeria when we have the raw material? Why? Okay. Why do we hear of refineries that are still under construction? Why do we hear stories of its commission? Why do the government come to tell us that things that are not working are working? Why are we, every sector of the government, I want to hear what our dear president will say by next week.
Yeah, exactly. I look forward to what the Ministry of the Minister of Power would say. I look forward to the Minister of Innovation and Science and Technology.
Definitely, there will be shift of blame.
Yeah, exactly, because artificial intelligence is now a thing, and we want to see what they have been doing on the background. I know that Minister of Communications has been working on how to improve on artificial intelligence, especially to impact the youth. So Mr. Boson has been working on that. But you see that Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, I look out for him. And the ministry in charge of transportation, I look out for those people. I want to see Minister for Work. No, David Umahi is working. David Umahi is working. Talk of a leader who leads by example, who who has actually, there was when this, I've forgotten the project, I can't place the project exactly, when they assigned the contract to some foreign owned companies, and these companies are saying they need to travel out of Nigeria to go and get approval. He insisted that if you are not working, drop our contract, we can always assign it to someone else. And we can see all that he's doing and all of that, even though a lot of people have been castigating him for, but on the part of the Minister of Works, is really doing well, even though he has his flaws. He has his flaws, exactly. So those are the ministries that I really watching out for, to hear what they would say they have achieved in their last 9 years in office. So let's move on to the next story that we have for today. Still on the Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. But we have a video in display for you to hear some of the thought of Nigerians in diaspora, what they are saying concerning the Nigerian government. Very quickly, let's have the video on display, then we go into the review.
Why should I do that?
No, even if you give me £1 million.
No, it's not possible. No.
No. I have more than £100,000 now.
I don't even need 100,000. Nigeria is very nice.
So if given one opportunity, what would you change about your country, Nigeria?
That's leadership.
All the politicians.
Leadership. The leadership is kind of like poor. It's pretty messed up, can't lie.
The system.
What exactly do you not like about Nigeria?
The leadership.
The leadership.
The leadership.
And you?
The leadership.
Is that all?
That's it.
What's really bad about Nigeria that you can't go and stay?
Education, really.
Corruption is just it's a problem in Nigeria.
Our leadership, they are rubbish. We have everything. Nobody's supposed to be thinking of going out of Nigeria, but our leaders are the problem.
Just to change the government and look for a better government. Once the politicians are gone, Nigeria should be great again.
So the leaders are the problem.
Once you change the leadership, then the grassroots will begin to grow. People are suffering. People are dying. They are using 160 million to buy Jeep.
Shay, help us, help us.
Okay, these are the thoughts of Nigerians in diaspora on what they think of the Nigerian government as we approach, as the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration approach its 1 year in service. But what Nigerians in diaspora are saying is quite contrary to what the Vice President of the nation is saying. And very quickly, let's look at what Mr. Kashim Shettima, the Vice President of Nigerians, has to say on what they are doing to improve the economy of Nigeria. He says we are repositioning Nigeria as global investment hub. Vice President Kashim Shettima on Friday said the renewed hope agenda of the President Bola Tinubu's administration is a transformative policy thrust aimed at repositioning Nigeria as a prime global investment destination. The Vice President said, with the agenda hinged on the core pillars of democracy, development, demographics, and diaspora engagement, the present moment serves as the opportune time to remind both Nigerians and the global community that Nigeria stands ready to embrace the future and conduct business. Okay, Mr. Our Vice President, he said that they are working on repositioning the economy of Nigeria. Now, in what way do you think the Vice President is? Where exactly do you think the Vice President is looking at to have made this conclusion?
Anyway, our viewers out there have heard from our citizens in diaspora. Now these people are away. Just imagine you carry out such exercise here in Nigeria. Now, the people that are feeling the heat, those people, they are not buying, they are hearing. Anyway, they are speaking based on what they have felt or what they've experienced here in Nigeria, or better still, what they are hearing from their relations that are here in Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate that these people know they are dealing with adults, human beings that can reason. Yet they come out to say things that are not in alignment with what is happening. Right? I think they are still in this, they still have this mindset that Nigerians are just like, I don't know, maybe should I say sheep or goats, they just go where you direct them. But it's no longer as it used to be. Now, which investors will come to Nigeria as it stands now? Even we Nigerians, to establish a new business, existing businesses are closing. Not to talk about, establishing a new business. A place needs to be fertile before you can, an outsider will decide to come in. The people in a place should enjoy some measures of fertility before you talk about foreigners coming in to invest. There is no power. If there is constant power, you can talk about investors coming. There is insecurity. So even just these two factors is a red flag for investors to come to Nigeria. Yet our dear vice president is telling us that they are repositioning Nigeria to be an investment hub. To me, I will just say it here right here that our vice president, Mr. Shetima, really does not understand what he's saying. They say it is easier said than done. These people, they just enjoy talking. Their action is not in alignment with their wills. Okay. And that is what is happening. So that is why I say, let me see what these people will come out to tell us again as an achievement in office for 1 year. Because each time there is hunger in the land, they are coming out to tell us that there is no hunger in the land. I don't know the people they are trying to impress. These investors, if you let's say you are trying to trick them to come to Nigeria, it's a digital world. Everybody from far and near can witness what is happening in Nigeria. All right, it's not as if until they come here before they notice. It's very clear. All right, so even what's played out during the 2023 election is already a red flag for some investors to come to Nigeria. All right, so I'm just really earnestly waiting for next week for them to come out and tell us again what they've achieved in office.
Exactly. Talking about Nigerians in diaspora, the Mr. Vice President, Mr. Kashim Shettima, he said they have the Nigerians in diaspora included in the repositioning that they are working on. And he was speaking on the recently announced $10 million that they have for the diaspora community. So it can strengthen ties with Nigerians in diaspora and all of that. But the Nigerians in diaspora are the ones that are as well talking now that the leadership, they are responding that the leadership is a mess, the system is a mess, and the government is a mess. Now, this is where I want us to look at our conversation. If we say the system is a mess, the leadership is a mess, I believe the leadership is what brings out the system.
Yeah.
The leadership is what produced the government. The leadership brings out the system. Now, how do we refine it?
Okay.
How can we make it better? How will it be better? What can be done to make it better? Responding to the take of Nigerians in diaspora.
Thank you very much. You see, the people in power are not more than the masses. All right. Let's say, let me borrow the language of Minister Wike. He said that he made a mistake. Let's assume that a Nigerian has made a mistake. They allow themselves to be manipulated during when they had all the power. Currently now we don't have the power, right? Until when it is that time for us to exercise our rights. All right. Regardless of the manipulative nature of our leaders, they can be controlled, they can be tamed. They are no more than the masses. All right. So when it is election time, just like what happened in last election, the people voted. But aside from voting, we must be courageous enough to defend our votes. We must be courageous enough to say this is what it. There was a place, one of the states in Nigeria, I think Ekiti State to be precise. The women came out and said, "This is the person we voted for." I don't know if you saw that video. There was a protest by the women, that the market women. This is the person we voted for. All right, a lot of things happened during that election. I think such can happen generally in Nigeria. This is the person we voted for. Leadership should be by acceptance by the people. It should be based on acceptance by the people. This is the person who wants to be our leader. We are choosing this person. So if we choose him and he decides to fail us, let it be that, yes, we chose him. So I want to tell our Nigerians and our viewers out there that there's going to be another opportunity. Protesting now is just, should I say, is a waste of time, even though it can have effects. But that time will come again when we have that right 100% to choose who is going to be our leader, to choose these people. We can prepare, man. I was telling somebody yesterday, I said, Nigerians were manipulated last time. I said, but I believe that this hard time has reformed and reset so many people's brain. That being given 5,000 naira to vote, that even 1 week, that 5,000 cannot carry it for 1 week. So, but the hardship, the hard system now is really, has really dealt with Nigerians, and as they say, sometimes when we learn in a hard way, we hardly forget. All right. So I want to believe Nigerians are learning in a hard way. I believe what happened last year, is going to take a different shape by 2027.
Okay, you're sounding like 2027 is the saving grace for Nigerians, and I would like to have this conversation on if politics, or sorry, if political parties are the saving grace for Nigerians. With the look of things, considering how expensive, the outrageous amount these people used to get the form the form to contest for primary election, before they bought their way through to the top, before they settle this and settle that, we discover that by the time they make those calculations, that after all the money I've spent on getting to this position, they will want to get back their profits. They want to get the benefit. They want to get all of the benefit. They want to make back the money that they spent into contesting for election and, getting to that position. They will want to get back those money. Now, it has now become a personal thing, a personal ambition. I'm going up there to go and get back the money I used to get up there. Now, if these politicians are self-centered, do you think political parties can save the people of Nigeria in 2027?
All right. You see, what I'm talking about here is not about political party. It's actually about an individual who is committed to serve his people or her people, the nation. All right. You see, it's go beyond the political party. First of all, the readiness to serve your people effectively should be the propelling force, towards coming out to say you want to be a governor, you want to be a president. And when I say that 2027 stand like a saving grace, is because, we've had cases of, you see, what you mentioned, I quite agree with you. But regardless, if our people are leaders, even if they are people with conscience, even if they are still eating, they can still be working. God has blessed this nation with so many resources. Some countries are depending on the resources we have in Nigeria. So if they are being, they are being considerate, if they are not being too much self-centered, I believe that no matter if there's this ant that when it's biting you, is blowing you. I think blowing you won't know that it's biting you until so. No,
that should be right.
Hmm?
That should be a rat.
I don't know. There's I think, but what I'm trying to say is that these are people, they can still be eating and still be working. But what we have in Nigeria, leadership is people who want to continuously enrich themselves. All through the years they are in office, they want to enrich themselves, they want to enrich their family, their generation, even their fourth generation. That is what. And now, when they want to leave office, they want to determine at all costs who takes over from them, so that this looting will continue. They want to become a father, a godfather to whoever is occupied. That is why corruption has not ceased in Nigeria. Because when you are living when somebody is living as a bad person, you still want to, should I say, reincarnate, because you are placing somebody there who will be loyal to you, who will serve you, do your bidding, and not the interest of the people. That is why it seems as if, corruption in Nigeria continues. So regardless of if it is the system have payment a measure for the Mr. President, for all the leaders, if they are contented and really are willing to serve the people, what they are getting is big enough to cover for the expenses and whatever they invested during the election. Sincerely speaking, and you know that what our politicians, what has been allocated and assigned to them, either as salary as allowances, is enough for them to recover whatever amount they have invested. And again, if getting to the position is done through due process, there won't be need for extravagant spending. Because you want to buy this person, you want to buy that person. That is because you know the people don't want you. When they know that they are not needed by the people, they want to get there at all costs. And when you get things at all costs, it makes you to stress yourself, it makes you to spend more than budgeted. That is what is playing out in Nigeria.
All right. We look forward to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration 1 year in office review next week, and we look forward to a whole lot of things. We look forward to a whole lot of innovation. We look forward to a whole lot of cutting down excesses, things that are not supposed to
And
be
the promised hope.
And most importantly, I still look forward to that time in Nigeria that our politicians will not have to depend on politics money, where our politicians will also have a job. I believe that leadership is all about service. Leadership is about serving others. And I look forward to the account of Mr. President on how they've been able to serve the Nigerian people next week. So do you have any final word for our viewers before we leave the show?
All right. My final stake for our viewers is that just like you just mentioned, these people, before they get into office, they have something they are doing. The money they used in buying the tickets, they got it from somewhere. All right. It's just lack of willingness to serve the people that do lead to this, because somebody has given them outrageous target mandate. That is why they go out to embezzling the fund. So my final note to our viewers is that we should know that these people, the power of the people is more than the power of the people of our leaders. So at all costs, we can take the blame of what is happening in Nigeria now. All right, because if we say no, just like during NSAS, when Nigeria came out and said no, something was done. All right, something was done. So we can still say no again. Just like some people already, there are some hashtag and all that. We can still say no again. We can come together and say no again. Let there be a move. Let's come together, because just 1 year, look at the lamentation everywhere. Just 1 year, look at everything collapsing. Look, just 1 year. Many people, if you go to embassy, you see the number of Nigerians trying to japa. A country that is as blessed as this nation, people are running away. The same place that people are running away, you say you want to attract investors. If the land is cool, why are the people running away? All right. So we should know that if we make move, something can be done. That is my final note for our viewers today.
All right, to our viewers, we look forward to hearing from you. What do you think of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the last 1 year in office? Regardless of where you're watching us from, we would like to hear your take. Whether you can do well to follow us on our Facebook platform on Prime Media TV. Do well to drop in your comments on your thought on what the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as administration has been in the last 1 year. You can do well to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Prime Media Studios. On the website where you're currently watching us, do well to drop your comment at enginespeak.com. You can as well follow us on our YouTube channel at Enginespeak. Ayo, until I come your way again, to have a great day.